Okay, hello everybody. I'm Conquering History Games, and welcome to live stream number 4, I think, of We the Revolution. So we ended things pretty Oh God! Oh no! Oh shit! Okay. We're experiencing technical difficulties. Please stand by. Oh fuck. Kind of just knocked all the things over. Give me a second. This is reactionary attempt on the life of the judge, who is Jean-Marie for some reason. There we go. We're back. We're back now. Well, that was terribly awkward. Oh my gosh, and I gotta feed my cat. Just a second. I think it's gonna take a minute to reconnect here. No, fuck me. Ah, there we go. I'm just banging anything. You know what's funny is I just was cleaning stuff a bunch yesterday. That's how it always happens. Is like once you reorganize things, like, oh, this is gonna be better, and then you forget where everything is, and you start hitting your feet and hands on everything. Okay, turn the fan on. So, the king is dead, and anybody who says "Long live the king" can join him. We're going to now. We're gonna now carry on. So I got my mentor over visiting my family. Is that the map from the Mugler place? You stole evidence from court. This is my Raymond Devoyer. Remember, this is my my mentor who was drunk and puking in the opening part of the game. Okay. I did not steal it. Only found a use for it. It will be more useful in your room than in the dusty drawers of the court archives. After all, this is a map by Turgot. It should be treated with respect. What a lovely explanation. Consider it a gift. Now take it and try not to talk so much. You should be more concerned about the events with the king, because this whole situation just seems peculiar. As your superior, I should be the one judging Louis's case. I fail to understand why Robespierre asked for your assistance. You are jealous? Of course I'm jealous. It's an important moment in history, and people will be reading about it for decades to come. It seems there will be trouble. I have a feeling that someone is toying with my life, as though an unknown force were pushing me into utter chaos. Keep your eye open. You came to the political world of the city from out of nowhere. That means someone will have to step down to make room. Do you have to sound so defeated? My husband is a renowned person now. We should be happy about it. It's easier to shoot someone in the spotlight. Okay, so looks like my father's a little happier with me. Everybody seems to be a little bit happier with me. It's okay. So I've maxed out things with my youngest son, so I think we can kind of take a little break on that. Let's see, work on tomorrow's trial. It'll unlock more question effects in court. No. We can talk about revolutionary achievements. It could be an interesting exchange. My son will like that. My dad will not. Damn, there's nothing that my oldest son and father will both like. Damn it. Political debate. I don't know. Reading together is kind of nice. Reading together is the most net gain. Yeah, so we'll do that. Isn't that, when you think about it, that's what these streams are when you get right down to it. It's me reading. We're all reading together. Okay, let's do that. Although, fucking hell. Now, I want to get things up a little bit with my father, although that's going to drop it with my wife. Fuck. Yeah, we're going to reading together. It's still the best net gain. Except, there we go.
Nice, maxed out with my wife, maxed out with my kid. There we go, put a little bit on everybody else. Good, 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 good. Nothing like water. The people. There's still light here in Minnesota at 9 p.m. How? It's because the Earth's not flat, Jacob. I'm not implying that you think it's flat, but anyway,
The people shrugged the invisible burden off their backs. The streets seemed more peaceful. Even the windows at the courthouse were soon replaced.
Okay, it's a new day. Yes, it is, and it's time for a new trial. The king is dead, but there is still crime in the world. Dear Citizen Fidel, I am writing to congratulate you on becoming a part of our country's history. Citizen Capet's trial is on everybody's lips. I would like to discuss the important topic of appointing the new Commander-in-Chief of the National Guard, who will replace Citizen Burrell. It is my honest belief that I am the best candidate. Should you give me your permission, I would like to pay you a visit this evening. Long live the Republic, Francois, Henriot, I think it's how it's pronounced. That reminds me, where is my French Revolution book? I have several of them, but I have one with the chronology with me for handy-dandy reference. Where did I put it? This is just what I was talking about. Like, as soon as I organize things, it's just another way of saying you lose things. Did I shelve it? No way. Not while the series is ongoing. Anyway, so Francois Henriot was a real person. I'll talk about who he is, I guess, when we meet him tonight. Moving on. So, what's going on here? Case file. Bruno Hugo, 26, is a groom working for the wealthy and influential aristocrat Jean-Claude de Jacquemart. During a quarrel, he was seen to push his employer down the stairs, resulting in the aristocrat's death. It is significant for the case that due to his origin and low intellect, Bruno Hugo is known in the local community as Village Idiot. The witnesses testified that Jacquemart returned from a ride, displeased with the way Bruno had prepared his horse. Apparently the saddle had become so loose that Citizen de Jacquemart almost fell from his mount. The victim called for Bruno in order to scold him and began insulting and physically abusing the stable boy. When acting on an impulse, Bruno pushed his employer away. As a result, Citizen de Jacquemart landed at the foot of the stairs with a twisted neck. The incident happened in front of other employees. Bruno Hugo escaped to the stable, where he was found pale with fright and whispering something to one of the horses. So this seems like a manslaughter case. You don't pronounce the letter T, so instead of idiot, I say idiot. Stupid ass French language. I think we're gonna let this kid go. Let me though check my notes. So where am I? Okay, yeah, with the revolutionaries, I'm like right in the middle. So the revolutionaries want me to throw him in prison. Why? For killing a fucking aristocrat? He needs a medal! Like, what's the, one of my favorite history books, unironically, is the series by Larry Gonick called The Cartoon History of the Universe. There's a part where he's talking about Socrates' trial, and so in Athenian law, if you were going to be found guilty of something, or while you were on trial, you could suggest an alternative punishment for yourself, and then it would be decided between the two options. Or I think it was something like, yeah, I think like the prosecution suggests something, and the defense would suggest something, and then the jury picks. So they were going to give Socrates hemlock. And Socrates, being Socrates, talked about, what? You want me to kill myself after all the great things I've done for this city? No. I want a stipend of money, and I want to be able to eat in the cafeteria for free. And so in the Cartoon History of the Universe, the guy has him say something like, I deserve a pension, not poison. Now, in real life, Plato and the rest of his followers said that they would pay a fee, or pay a fine, instead of, Socrates killing himself, and the jury voted to kill him. That's a whole other story, though. We're a little off track here. Okay. So, let's get asking questions. This is a simple case. The accused is guilty of murder, and the only problem is that people feel sorry for him. What is your name? Bruno Hugo. I'm Bruno Hugo. Did you work for Citizen Jean-Claude de Jacquemart? Yes, I worked there for a few years. Quite a few. Leave him alone. He's just a man-child. Do you admit to the murder? Yes or no? But poor thing, he's shaking all over. Okay, so in terms of the defendant, or like this question crap, in order to kind of move things along, I'm not going to be talking my way through it. I'm just going to try to, get moving along here. So like, okay, vitiated, that would be offender's personality, but I'm not going to be saying, oh, I want to do this, I'm going to do that, whatever. Okay, so let's put that there. Twisted neck, accusation, yeah. Again, just so we can kind of get things moving along. Can't we move this along? Can't we get it on? Tell me I'm your man. I don't want to think about it, but I can. Alright, so questions for the defendant. I don't know, what do you guys think? Like, it seems to be nobody is disputing that he killed the guy. The question is this just like an accident and he shouldn't be punished for it? Or does he need to at least go to prison? Or I could execute him and piss everybody off. Let's call him the witness first. My name is Colin Boiffeur. I am the major domo at the residence of the de Jacquemart family. I saw exactly what happened. Tell us what happened between Citizen Hugo and the master of the house on that unfortunate day. Citizen de Jacquemart was furious at Bruno because he hadn't tightened the saddle. It could have caused an accident. How did your employer react to this? He started shouting at Bruno, tugging and pulling at him. Bruno pushed Citizen de Jacquemart away, causing him to fall down the stairs they were both standing on. Nasty bourgeois! Okay, well that taught us nothing we didn't already know. So what an enormous fucking waste of time. You guys hear me in the chat, right? Okay, let's see here. Are you aware that you have killed a man? Do you understand that? I know. I just swung my arm because he was shouting at me like that. So loud. Were you aware that you could hurt him? I didn't think so, I didn't. Did you swing so hard he fell down? I got so scared, I can't remember. I squinted my eyes, sir, and when I opened them again, there he was, lying down there, downstairs. So, this reminds me of a case that hit the Supreme Court a couple of years ago that really kind of became a philosophical exercise for me personally. So we're gonna do like a sidebar here. It was the case Madison versus Alabama, and so what the case was is there was this guy called Madison in Alabama who had shot a police officer. And then the trial was held, and long story short, he was sentenced to death. Now, in the meantime, while he was in jail awaiting his sentence, he had a series of strokes, and he became physically and mentally disabled. Like, he had severe dementia. Like, these strokes apparently really fucked the guy up. Like, it wasn't just that, like, he was suffering from dementia, but he went blind and stuff. Like, he couldn't even, yeah, he was just all fucked up. Anyway, so, because of his dementia, he did not remember killing this police officer. And so the case ends up going to the Supreme Court because the idea was that it's a violation of the Eighth Amendment, which the Eighth Amendment of the United States Constitution, for those of you who are not Americans, it says that the government is not allowed to post excessive bail, they're not allowed to post excessive fines, and it's most famously a prevention against cruel and unusual punishment. So the idea was that the basically what the Madison lawyers were arguing was that it would be cruel and unusual punishment to sentence to death a guy, something for which he, for a crime that he couldn't remember doing. Now, when he would be explained the crime, like, hey, do you think that somebody who killed a police officer or killed anybody should be sentenced to death? He would go like, yeah, I agree with that. Like, so like he was familiar with the concept of punishment still, but he didn't. But like the thing was, it's like, can you execute somebody for whether or not they remember doing a crime, or can you execute someone for a crime they didn't commit, or not that they didn't commit, that they don't remember committing? It's like a memory hole for them. So I thought that was like philosophically, I thought that was very interesting. Now there are other extenuating circumstances, both in like what the Supreme Court ended up deciding, and there's also like other extenuating circumstances regarding his trial. But I'm not going to get into that. But I just thought that was like, I remember when I first learned about that case, I really puzzled over it for a very long time about like, yeah, like is it right to punish somebody for something they don't remember doing or they didn't know that they did? Anyway, so this case kind of just reminds me of that. I won't give my opinion on that case, like whether he should or should not have been executed. Incidentally, he died in prison before he was executed. So in a way, it kind of was just a moot point, but not really. But yeah, interesting case, very interesting case. So anyway, yeah, the jury seems to be pretty damn strong in favor of acquittal. Do you plead guilty? I don't understand what I did wrong. I don't understand. These people wanted me to come here, so I came. I meant no harm to nobody. No harm. You're facing the death penalty for murder. Do you realize that? I just want to go back to the horses. I don't know if they've eaten today. If a horse doesn't eat for a long time, the master isn't happy when the horses aren't fed. Are you more worried about the horses than your master? The master is dead. What can I do? And the horses are still alive. They are alive. Do you know how local people refer to you? Bruno does not know. Bruno does not like that name, village idiot. No. The court is mocking him. I didn't like it, and that's it. I already have a name given to me by my mother. She gave me one. Let's see. Did the citizen, how did he treat you? He was good to me. Sometimes he shouted. How often did he shout? Sometimes he shouted. Sometimes he didn't. Yeah, the jury, I fucked up. The jury wants acquittal. We're done here. Did the defendant confess to his crime? Yes. What was the reason behind the argument the defendant had with the victim? A loose saddle. Did the defendant understand the indictment? Oh shit. I swung my arm. Yeah, so he understands the indictment. I did? Yes. There it is. So, on the one hand, it is at least manslaughter. I think it would be called manslaughter. But on the other hand, he killed an aristocrat. And are they even human? I might as well send him to prison for crushing an aunt. So, when you kill, if the culotte fits, you must acquit. I find the defendant not guilty. seal. Yeah. Shit. I find Bruno Hugo not guilty of the aforementioned crimes as he is unaware of what happened. What does it matter? A crime is a crime. You have to be careful with the likes of this one. His employer should have known better. Is the stream lagging? Oh shit, I know why it might be lagging. Oh, yep. Okay, hold on. Okay, there. Try hitting refresh, everybody. Yeah, it's because I was uploading something at the same time as I was streaming, so that's kind of throttling the internet. Sorry about that. I thought that would have been done by 8. Okay, so hopefully it'll be right. Right, it'll be better now. Okay. Dang, I only got 1 out of 3 on that one. Shit. Next. Hello, Mr. X. Okay, time to talk about Francois Henriot. Okay. So, Francois Henriot was one of the commanders of the National Guard, and he's probably most famous during this insurrection that happened in 1793, which led to the fall of the Girondins. I'm not going to talk about who the Girondins are right now because they haven't come up, but basically they were the other half of the Montagnards, who were the Jacobins. God, the French Revolution is so complicated. I'm saying all these things like I assume you know who they are. But anyway, long story short, this is a guy. He was a commander of the National Guard. He was in with Robespierre and Saint-Just, and he was executed at the same time as those men, that being Robespierre and Saint-Just. So, excuse me. Oh, I'm out of water. You know what? Here, I'm gonna go get more water, and I'm also going to try to find my French Revolution book that has the chronology. I don't know why I had it here at the desk. Oh, where could it be? Okay, I can't find this damn book. I just liked having that handy dandy little reference. Oh, there it is! Okay. Got it. Now I got it. I put it on this little table I had. Anyway, so basically, the guy who's talking to us right now, you need to think of him as being like the mouth of Robespierre. Yeah, my character does always look pretty defeated. Okay. So, your wife told me that if I seek the support of just people, I should look for them in your house. Yes, Citizen Henriot. My husband would be more than happy to endorse your candidacy for the post of Commander-in-Chief. Why does this feel like a fait accompli? I really am depressed, aren't I? Please do not be angry at your wife. I am sure she acted in good faith when she made those promises. How could anyone refuse to support such a respectable officer? I am certain that my husband will acknowledge your merits, just as I have. Undoubtedly. But how can I be so sure when there's so many other candidates?
Well, I respect the other candidates. They are decent people. However, I can offer you the most precious gift, loyalty. Working together, we can greatly benefit each other. And maybe Paris, too. My family has a high regard for sincerity and loyalty, does it not, my dear? Moreover, we respect each other's boundaries. At every turn. Yes, those ugly rumors about you being an addict should be put to an end. Know that I never forget those who have done me a favor. Words, 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 Citizen Henriot. I am certain that no other candidate has asked for your endorsement. They do not think you are worthy of their friendship. But I, Francois Henriot, am different. And so are my words. I'm sure my husband has already noticed that. If his name isn't Grant or Sherman, he doesn't deserve the title Commander-in-Chief. Okay, I'm just gonna figure that you didn't mention Washington because it's, a given. It's self-evident. Thank you. Regardless of what the masses are yelling, Paris is only as strong as its united elites. I will not retract my wife's promises.
But in the future, you make sure you come to me first. But of course. Alright. Could read together some more. Or wait, no, decisions in court. Hey, it kind of went up a little bit with my eldest son. That's cool. Let's see here. I think we can afford to... Let's try to get the revolutionaries a little bit more on my side. Playtime with the children. Or we could do... I really do like that reading together. Viola Concerto. Yeah, I don't think there's ever going to be anything that lets me work on my oldest son and my father at the same time. Evening with grandfather. No. Let's do playtime with the children, or I'll do an evening with my father and listen to stories of days bygone. Right? Oh, don't go into the negatives. Okay. We're good. Let's see. Whiskey Lullaby. The evening is warm, so you decide to take the long way home. Near the Cafe Chantilly, you spot an amusing scene. Two drunkards fighting over a bottle of liquor, cursing like stable boys. The first is shorter and dressed in a disheveled officer's uniform, possibly a colonel. The second fighter, although significantly taller, is just a ordinary street thug. You listen to the gibberish and tangled epithets, only to reach the conclusion the bottle contains one last gulp of drink. We're not gonna get involved here. They're both wasted. There's nothing good that could come of this. Yeah, I'm not gonna get involved with that. The taller drunkard won by finally mustering all of his strength. The officer landed face first in the mud, and the last sip of drink gently washed over the winner's tongue. There's nothing else left to see. A bottle of something exquisite waits you at home. So my reputation went up. Why? Whiskey Lullaby, that's a pretty sad song. Yep. It's a classic, though.
A Paris of a new era.
Oh, that's a little loud.
Weak, vulnerable to attacks. Waiting for someone to reach for power. Waiting for someone who, once again, will take control of its soul. The pawns are now in play.
Recent days have proven it's a revolutionary holiday. Hey, all right. Yeah. Yeah, but Whiskey Lullaby, that might be the only good thing Brad Paisley ever did. That's right! I said it! Anyway, recent days have proven that Paris can win, that France can win. We managed to overcome our past, divesting our last remaining tyrant of his power. Now it is time to rebuild, to create symbols that inspire future generations. That is why during a gathering of the convention, several enterprising citizens proposed the construction of a statue to commemorate the revolutionary victory over injustice. You were given the honor of supervising the construction. There is no better candidate than the one who vanquished Louis Capet. You have an opportunity to leave yet another mark on Paris. Hell yeah. So this is something I've heard about but never played, so Sections of Presence. It's basically like we're going to take control of this city. So we have sections of Paris. Each section could be controlled by you, an enemy, or be neutral. Each section you take over provides you with one additional influence point. The chance of mission success is higher in your territory. Enemy sections, enemy agents can also take over your sections. Actions performed in enemy sections are less likely to be successful. Some sections are locked. Unlock them with any agent to carry out actions within them. To unlock a section, you have to scout it first. You can only unlock sections adjacent to ones that are already unlocked. Then we have a fervor meter. Each section reacts to the situation in the game, causing the fervor of the residents to rise or fall. If their fervor becomes too intense, it could result in destructive riots. Player agents sending agents on mission, manage unruly crowds, and fight for influence over the city. Press button ZL on agent to choose the action you wish them to carry out. The Bruiser is good at fighting, gaining reputation, and managing unruly crowds. Take over the Diplomat. Will take over sections, nurture relations with factions, lower fervor in sections, and weaker in duels against enemy agents. You can move your agents freely between your sections. Unfortunately, in hostile or neutral sections, they can only move one space per day. Okay, so there we have it. Alright. So I think this is supposed to be West Paris, and this is East, because there's like the Seine here. Okay. So let's see, fervor here, visit the main section. If I hit ZR. Here we go. Monument construction. The more sections under your control, the faster the monument is constructed. Each subsequent stage of completion allows you to take over another building near the monument. Oh, and so I could choose the design of the said statue. What do we want to go with here? Let's do the pedestal first. I think that's good. What about the surroundings? Nothing wrong with some trees. It's a little more symmetrical. Oh, god damn it! Hold on. There we go. Pedestal's fine. So the statue, we got someone with a harp. Why is Justice not on here? It looks like you got a harp, somebody with like a scroll, somebody reading something and pointing, or a torch and sword. Gotta say, I'm not super thrilled with any of these actually. Let's go with the torch and sword, fuck it. Give the people what they want, or I don't know. Maybe holding the paper and pointing actually. Lady with the finger pointing up. This one with the hatchet. I don't know. No, it doesn't work with me. The harp lady's Lady Justice? Oh, yeah, it's not a harp. She's holding the scales and the sword. I couldn't quite see. Oh, then we'll definitely do this. Alright, yeah, I was looking at it. Wasn't looking at it with enough detail. Alright. Seal it! Boom. Hail fascism. Each building lets you perform a different kind of action. Take over the ones that support your playstyle. Daily rate at which the statue is constructed is currently 0. Facilitate the persuasions. Persuade a character will have a better starting attitude towards you. Randomly chooses one family special action. No. Alright, what do we got over here? Faction people, attitude friendly. Raphael Clovis and Jacques-Louis David is my diplomat. Well, how do I like select him? Oh, I hit ZR or. All right, let's move him here. Or trying to. What the fuck over? There we go, unlocking that section. Oh. Increase influence over a district. Did she have a hatchet? That other one, yeah, it looked like the one with the one pointing up. It did look like a hatchet. Oh, let's increase our influence here. And I guess that's it. Days until inspection, 11. What the hell does that mean? Well, let's hit it. Day 8.
A bloody beginning. A violent prologue announced by a flowing red curtain. The wrath of strangers made me sick to my stomach. Feet stirred dark puddles. The air tasted like iron. Their heads, someone cried. Anger hidden in the shadows. Wow. Thousands of cries from a single throat. Here was a beast with hundreds of claws and teeth. A kicked, abused, and physically wounded soul. Their heads. What a cold and urgent order. The beast's eyes showed a long-disguised bitterness, yesterday's envy. It has waited too long to show mercy now. Too long covering its ears while others laughed at its inadequacies
Oh shit.
and feebleness. The beast's bark was filled with 1,000 smiles of those who worship this bloody morning. The day when their enemies will perish. Their brothers.
That was pretty fucking awesome. I like that metaphor. Alright, we got another day, another trial. What are we dealing with here? Case file. Some time has passed since the liquidation of the widely hated Ferme Générale. The institution paid duties to the former king and then often brutally collected liabilities from the people. Usually with considerable interest. Now the National Convention has made the just decision to try all former fermiers généraux who collected taxes from farmers, who will present the evidence. We will present the evidence against one of them, Anthony Lavoisier. I think that's probably right. Fuck it. So the very first evidence of his guilt is the sheer fact that he earned his post through nepotism. Boots.
Anyway, the very first evidence of his guilt is the sheer fact that he earned his post through nepotism. Aside from collecting taxes from starving peasants, he was also involved in all manner of businesses, and not always honest ones. Excuse me. Several witnesses have claimed that he was frequently trading in damp tobacco. You get that dank tobacco, am I right? Sold at exorbitant prices. We have not found any indication of this aforementioned adulteration in Lavoisier's documents, but it is a topic widely discussed on the streets of Paris. So let's talk about what the ferme générale, which is it was basically he was the tax collectors, the customs officials, which were pretty unpopular because, well, who likes the taxmen? But it also was really complicated because during the Ancien Regime, as I've discussed before, the map of France was just an absolute cobweb of lines of demarcation between the different areas of it, especially, like, you know, legally, in terms of the nobility, in terms of the religion, in terms of, like, the judicial authority of the different districts and stuff. Very, very, very messy stuff. But this is an actual charge that he was hit with. This is real life. This is not fantasy. Yeah, basically selling bad tobacco and also tax fraud. He was guillotined for that. So if this is where we are now, are we already in 1794? Let me check my handy dandy chronology here. So let's see. We already passed. Okay, so the execution of Louis XVI was in 71, but Robespierre fell. Did I say 71? Is January 21st. January 21st, 1793. Completely wrong. So we're past January of 93, but this guy was killed in 94. So wasn't. No, Robespierre also died in 94. Okay, yeah. So we're like in May of 1794 already. So the Girondins are already dead, and so is Danton. So we guess we didn't get to talk about him. Or maybe they're just doing things a little bit out of order. Anyway, he used money from the taxes to finance his private laboratory, where he carried out many chemical experiments. Many Parisian chemists that were approached during the investigation called Lavoisier a brilliant scientist. Of course, this alone does not mean treason. However, the accused frequently corresponded with foreign scientists. We have established that he supported them with the money taken from the French presents, and it is possible that he was also sharing the results of his research. Why not keep it all for the French people? We're past one of the reigns of terrors. That is a great way to talk about it, really. It's one of them. So the common people want me to execute him for his crimes against tobacco. And the revolutionaries would like me to set him free. That would put me 333. And I probably should get the revolutionaries a little bit on my side. Punish those filthy leeches! Those people simply must be decapitated. They symbolize everything the common Frenchman revolted against. It is 1793. The game is not perfect at respecting the historical chronology. Please introduce yourself. My name is Antonin Lavoisier. What is your occupation, Mr. Lavoisier? I aided tax collection in the ferme générale, and I am also a scientist. Allow me to add modestly that I have made a number of very important discoveries. So I believe that he was the one who... He did something with oxygen. Like, I think he was the one who figured out that oxygen is one of the fuels to fire or something.
But there was other stuff he did. I just can't remember it off the top of my head. If it was Edmund Haley, I could spout off for a while about him, or Louis Pasteur. But this guy in particular, nothing actually comes to mind. But anyway, we're lucky that the deeds of people aren't being fused / accredited to one person. What is your name? What is your quest? What is the capital of Assyria? There you go. Now you're learning, Boyle. So.
Do not boast before the court. Sure, tell us how you ate pate bought with our money.
Alright, I guess brilliant scientist would be that. The fraud is the accusation, right? Foreign scientist, would that be counter-revolution, scientific research? I don't know, fuck me. Scientific research would be under extenuating circumstances. The Ferme General, that's definitely counter-revolution. Report is evidence and various businesses and personnel. Okay, let's try to quit this guy so I'll be 3-3-3. You've been accused, so we're gonna get a historical here. An unladen swallow it is, yeah. You have been accused of swindles and deceits of all sorts. One of them is selling damp tobacco. Absurd, I have personally admonished my suppliers to make sure the tobacco stays dry. Look through my papers, you will find the reports. You could have put those reports among other papers to deceive us. People like him are natural born liars. I have kept exemplary documentation, never once acting against my conscience. The conscience of a tax collector. I assume it did not stand in your way when you were taking money from starving farmers. Always acted according to French tax legislation. The law was dreadful. Excuse me. Let us talk about the money you stole from the state treasury. What stolen money? What is the basis of this accusation? The money you were stealing from France was used to support foreign scientists. Why? We do not know. But we suspect it had something to do with, wow. I was financing foreign research, yes, but with my own money and it had nothing to do with war. You were acting against the best interests of the state? That is treason! Do you know what we do to traitors? Let me just say it would take you only an instant to cut off this head, but 100 years may not suffice to reproduce it like. Okay. Alright. The Republic has no need for scientists! What? What? Who the fuck said that? Did you keep your laboratory in operation by using the taxpayers' money? Yes, Monsieur Le Georges. What exactly did you discover? Anything useful? As I explained among others the phenomenon of combustion. Disproved the phlogiston theory. Constructed the calorimeter. What the hell was he talking about? Do these discoveries help the regular citizen? Science does not necessarily immediately help people, but one day those discoveries will. Did you hear that? Science doesn't help people. How much money was spent on your research? I never measured it. I have been working on my discoveries for years. He didn't measure it because we were paying. I'm sorry, this is supposed to give you a quit the guy? Oh man, I don't think it's too late to jack it up enough to get to the guillotine. Fuck it, let's go for the acquittal. Tell us more about the foreign scientists that asked for your help and financial support. Who were they? Some of them were Italian chemists, great scientific minds, but not so talented when it came to raising money. Bartolomeo Beccaria, Diego Petrarca, Daniel Marconi. Let's see, you supported Italians even though they've been at war with France so many times? That's right! We have fought with each and every one of our neighbors. What does that have to do with science? Was it not scientists like you who created the firearm, an object that completely changed the art of war? My work was not connected to weaponry. Can we believe you? Alright. Well, we're kind of locked in now. He explained his work as a tax collector, mentioned French law. What was the defendant selling? Damp tobacco. Alright. Let's do it to it. I will acquit him. Damn, that really drops me with the common folk. They are pissed about that tobacco. But it'll get me up with the revolutionaries. Probably gonna be practically tied. Let's go. Are they really blaming scientists for discovering weaponizing propaganda? At least one of them is. Lead Mr. Lavoisier out. Reminds me of the interrogation scenes in Black Monday.
The judge has lost his mind. Justice shall be served anyway.
You just spat in the face of thousands of farmers. Hey, but I went 3 for 3 on the report. Oh yeah. Okay. Ah, Jean-Marie Roland. My name is Jean-Marie Roland. You may know me by my wife, who is so much cooler and interesting than I am. My name should not be unknown to you. After all, you wiped your shoes on it during King Louis's trial. Still referring to King Louis as king instead of Citizen Combay. Looks like we got ourselves a royalist on our hands here. So, let me talk real quickly about who Jean-Marie Roland was. So he was a minister in the government of King Louis, hence why he was, defending him. And he was a part of the Girondins as well. So the Girondins are kind of tricky because they were part of the... They were originally part of the Montagons, which you can call the left-wing part. Okay, and I'm going to go into more detail about this another time, but... Okay. Let me take a breath here. Oh, I'm getting all jumbled up. Let's talk about what the Montagons are. So that means the mountain. And it was a political organization. And they got that name because during the legislative assembly, they sat on the high benches in the assembly, because it was kind of like tiered seating, think like a stadium, I guess you could say, on the left side. So whenever you hear the term left wing, it goes back to the mountains, to the Montagons. So the Montagons originally were made up of two groups, the Jacobins and the Girondins. But the Girondins ended up, they were splitting from the Jacobins because, whereas the Jacobins were like kind of broad and radical, the Girondins were more, I don't want to say they were centrist because they were certainly in favor of destroying the monarchy, but they kind of felt that
that things were going a little too fast, a little too radical, it was a little too much. But it was fine because they were sort of directing the revolution until you're hitting 1793, like mid 1793, when they start to get purged after the insurrection, and then that's where the reign of terror begins, of which they are the principal victims. So, back to Jean-Marie Roland. So he was a Girondin, and and he had also been somebody who was a minister of the interior during for King Louis XVI. So you can kind of think of the Girondins as the liberals. They are the ones with the liberal wisdom. You know, they want a revolution, but without a revolution. And this is so absurd. And sorry, that was my bad Zizek impersonation. But anyway, even though he was a prominent minister and whatnot, he also originally had been a Jacobin, and like he was friends with Robespierre and other people. It was kind of his wife who was the more interesting person. Actually, I remember I once wrote a very short paper about her, Madame Roland. So I'll probably talk more about them later. But Madame Roland, she is probably most famous for when she was executed. She was said, "What are your last words?" And she's the one who says, "Oh, liberty, what crimes are committed in your name?" There's a lot of theories as to why she got executed. There's some people who say, like, oh, Madame Roland was executed via guillotine because she was overstepping her bounds as a woman. I think that's a little bit too much. I wouldn't really agree with that. On the other hand, there is some literature by Lynn Hunt about feminism in the French Revolution, which I have not read yet. Maybe I'll do that tonight. No, not tonight. I got other things I got to do. But yeah, that to my understanding, that's kind of revanchist history. Anyway, so the point is, this guy's a Girondin. He is a liberal, with his silly liberal wisdom. He wants 1789 without 1793. He wants revolution without revolution. And his wife is much cooler than he is. So, anyway. Citizen Capet, not king. Yeah, you tell him, Alexis. King Louis Auguste Bourbon, Duc de Berry. Thanks to you flinging around half-truths and speculation, everyone is calling from ahead. Oh, and by the way, so when Madame Roland was killed, I forgot to say what happens to Jean-Marie. Jean-Marie was actually not executed via guillotine. He killed himself after his wife. He found out his wife was executed. Anyway, did it like Japanese style too. He didn't like hang himself or slit his wrists. He ran a fucking sword through himself. So accusing thanks to you flinging around half-truths and speculation, everyone is calling for my head, accusing me of corruption and treason. Well, you used our backs as a stepladder on your way up the social hierarchy. Corrupting politicians does not always work out. Danton does it. Molleville tried to, but they caught you. Happens. Their government was responsible for creating the... Yeah, that is true. Yes, Socialist, you are correct. So yeah, the Girondins actually did originally create the Committee of Public Safety, but then eventually it gets, co-opted by the Jacobins. There's a lot of personal animosity at work there, too. But the Girondins are kind of funny one, because, like, you know how when we've talked about Kirchnerism in Argentina, where, like, if you go onto the Wikipedia page for Kirchnerism, it says that it is like a Peronist party that aligns itself against Peronism, against Peronismo. The Girondins, I think like when you check that, and again, you never really should use Wikipedia for serious research, but it is kind of funny the things that get through Wikipedia for complicated issues. You get these contradictions and stuff like that. So like, I think the Girondins, it used to say, like, in terms of like their political ideology, it's like they were it was something similar where it was like they were ideologically Jacobin and against the Jacobins or something like that. Anyway. I'll make sure your head rolls out after mine. You'll be my comrade in ministry. Threatening a judge of the tribunal is an even worse idea than supporting a despised king and corrupting politicians of the convention. I will get rid of your candidate for captain of the guard. Then I will go after you. It took me and my wife too long to get to where we are. I will not die because of some overboozed maggot that likes to call himself a judge. You will see how we wage war on Paris salons, you treacherous mongrels. Yeah, they were really big into the salons, the Rolands. Yeah. Because, okay, so the salons were basically, I know, like, when you think of a salon today, you think of, you know, oh, I'm gonna go do my hair. But back then, salons were meetings where people would say, like, we're just gonna come together and we're gonna talk about stuff. We're gonna talk about philosophy. We're gonna talk about politics or you know, whatever. And I think this actually has its roots in Italy, and this could just kind of be speculation on my part, but I think that it even could plausibly be traced all the way back to the Equestrians, not the Equestrians, the Etruscans. That's that Equestrian war on my mind. The Etruscans, who used to have like these couches that they would lay on, and you'd have a husband and wife lay together, and everybody would lay on the couches in a circle, and they would chit chat and stuff. So I wonder how much of it, you know, if the seeds of that were planted there. But yeah, so the salons were typically private things, though, that would happen at people's homes, and Madame Roland was a big time salon leader. Like, her and Jean-Marie's home was basically open all the time. Actually, it just clicked in my mind. I wrote a fucking paper once about Madame Roland, and I just realized that their names were Jean-Marie and Marie-Jean. The fucking French, man. Anyway, so like, yeah, those salons were really happening places where all the important names were, like Danton and Robespierre. But she kind of felt that, like a lot of people during this era, that her way was the best way. And funnily enough, she was actually not super feminist in terms of the French Revolution. She wasn't like Olympe. Oh God, what's her name? I remember her name was Olympe because, you know, like the Olympics. She was also killed with the Girondins. Let me tell you how 95% of stories of people in the first few years of the revolution are. Yeah, so anyway, they ended up getting guillotined. But we're just totally off track here. Anyway, let's do this scene.
Dear comrade. Comrade, that's a little early. I heard the news of Mr. Roland's unexpected visit. I have to confess that Roland knows about me, something that he should not have. I'm certain he is already weaving an intrigue against us. We have to start working on one against him. Francois Henriot. God damn it. Play something for me, son. I have work to do. God, I just look so fucking sad every night. As you wish, father. What is this? We can support the construction of a statue over there. Jeez, is that it? Jeez, that was the whole scene? Just come home, be depressed. Play it again, Sam. Increase the rate at which the statue is constructed. Aren't I already at 0%, or is that going to get me up? We'll deal with that later. We could do a political debate. A viola concerto. Bernard needs to learn how to deal with stage fright. If he wants to be a professional musician, you will have to endure an hour of racket. Wow. Let's do it, yeah. Play it again, Sam. Ooh, my dad did not like that. I'm already maxed out. He doesn't want a little bit higher. So. Your Honor, you look like you just ordered the execution of an entire orphanage. Yeah, right. Okay, looks like that. Oh, shit! What was that? Pop! Nice. We got the. Looks like we have our here enemy agents. Enemy agents will fight with your agents for territory. They can take over your sections or neutral sections. Remember, at least 2 hostile agents meet in one section. Combat ensues. Reminder that diplomat has little chance against a brutal fighter. After a defeat in combat, your agent becomes injured. They're still able to move around, but they cannot perform actions. Your main section is vital. The buildings here enable you to influence the rest of the game. Protect it at all costs. If you let it out of your grasp, you will lose the game. Okay. Interesting. Well, we should get Clovis here. And sick him on this diplomat. Hold on. There we go. So yeah, this is a diplomat. We're gonna whoop his ass pretty easily, I think. Let's come over here. Playing a game within a game. Yeah. Plots within plots. Alright, so we're taking over that section. And, oh, we have an intrigue thing. Ooh, what's this? Ah! Yes, Jean-Marie Roland. The documents discovered in Capet's iron cabinet raised suspicion regarding Roland. The minister hates the tribunal for openly ridiculing him, and he will not forgive you. His intelligent wife holds an even stronger grudge. Yeah. Like I said, the wife was the brains. Yeah. Okay. So action blocks. Perform actions correctly to fill the progress bar. If you carry out too few, you will lose. If you perform more than necessary, you will receive a bonus. Progress bar. Perform actions correctly to fill the progress bar. If you carry out too few, you will lose. If you perform more than necessary, you'll receive a bonus. Yeah, well, it's just redundant, isn't it? So far, there's only rumors that Roland destroyed the documents. If we find someone from his social circle to corroborate this, we could have a powerful tool. We have a potential candidate. Philippe Cotier was among the people who opened Capet's iron cabinet. Yeah, let's do it. Perform the action. For an action to be successful, you need to persuade the required number of people. You can also send your diplomat to do it for you. Remember, you can only do this while the block is active. So, if we send a diplomat, it'll cost me 2 influence points, but there's a 70% chance of succeed. Now let's just try to do a regular convince. See what this is like. Okay, I invited him over. Thank you for coming, Citizen Cotier. By any chance you have a pistol? Fucking kill me after this. So sad. I haven't eaten any of my potatoes. Anyway. How could I say no to a person who holds the lives of kings in the palms of his hand? I presume that our meeting is connected to Minister Roland? Oh shoot. I accidentally clicked it twice. It is indeed rather ugly. The minister could lose his head because of it, although it's currently nothing more than gossip. Yes, but what if the gossip suddenly turned into the truth? Then things would certainly get nasty. Oh, okay. So we have withdrawn, something, and then bullheaded. Okay, so we'll do manipulation, and then I don't know, we'll just wing it on the next one, and then bullheaded. So bullheaded would be like humility in response. I don't know. Let's try this. I want to get Roland. Let's do the manipulation. I need Roland's head. His days are numbered anyway, so to ease the pain of Parisians in France, let us just accelerate his fall. Roland has his vices, but are they enough to justify my betrayal? Because that is what you ask of me. What will he get out of this? Let's try manipulation again. Minister Roland will not save you when matters become troublesome. I could save you from charges of complicity, for example. Oh, that did it. That did it. Hey, Godlanders X3. It's going good. Long day. Carrot and stick. So, humility. I believe you are a man of reason, Citizen Cote. Listen to it telling you that you do not want to pay for Roland's mistakes, and I do not want to make you pay for them. Intrigued. Good. I will help you and testify against him. Let us see where this leads, but hopefully to my head staying on my neck, as you promised. Nice. Oh, nice. Revolutionary and common folk opinions up. Very good. Hell yeah. We got an ally. Nice. So can we immediately do this next thing? Can we like, go right into it? Wait, what is this? Methods of solution. Some actions require you to make decisions about tactics. Each decision may have a different chance of success. Okay, so we have spreading rumors. When Roland recognized the contents of the iron cabinet, he allegedly asked for a moment of privacy and was left alone with the evidence. Really, dude? In light of Citizen Capet being you know what? Timeout. I don't know how many of you have seen season 1 of True Detective, but there's a part where the characters are gonna go. If any of them were going to, if any of them, what are you gonna say? Okay, blah. I'm so tongue-tied this whole week. So there's a scene where the main characters are gonna do an undercover ploy and they want to sell cocaine to this gang to get in and try to solve a different issue. But they're doing this on their own time, not under, you know, the umbrella of the police department. So apparently the writer wrote this whole thing because this part of the story takes place in, I think, the 90s. In the early 90s, and like, so the writer wrote this whole thing where they like sneak out and or like switch out a bunch of cocaine in the evidence locker, and then I guess one of the advisors for the show said like, this was in like 1991. Good night, Celsius. This was in 1991. We didn't have fucking protocols for the evidence. So the scene, if I remember correctly, ends up being that one of them just goes, "Hey, I gotta go in the evidence locker for something." And the other guy's like, "Yeah, sure, going in there." And so the guy just goes in, he gets one thing, and then he just goes and he picks up a bag of cocaine and puts it in his jacket. And I think and it's Matthew McConaughey's character Russ, and he even says something like, "We gotta have a better system for this." He just walked out with a big brick of coke. Oh man. Anyway, so when he asked for a moment of privacy, so yeah, just this Roland being left alone with evidence. Let's see. In light of Citizen Capet being accused of conspiracy and the lack of evidence, we could try accusing the minister of destroying it. Cotier confirming the sensational details would certainly help. We could say a few casual remarks made by the respected Jacques-Louis David should unleash an avalanche, or court guard Raphael Clovis, your loyal subordinate, will have to talk some sense into a few heads so they realize how big a threat Roland is. I think we want to go with that because I don't know, actually. Is this going to stop my agents from being used on the map? I hope not. By the way, what do you guys think of this, I don't know, for lack of a better word, the mural that's in the background? You've got like these heralding angels coming down, but maybe they're Valkyries because some of them seem to have helmets and they've got spears. And then there's, you know, this mob violence around the guillotine. There's people going into, you know, it looks like they're falling into the hell, and there's some demons coming up. I wish I could like find just whatever this background art is on its own so we could really look at it. Let's see, we spent so long wanting to get rid of the king, we didn't spend any time thinking about what you were replacing with him. Yep. What comes next? You've been freed. Do you know how hard it is to lead? You're on your own. Awesome. Wow. Do you have a clue what happens now? Oceans rise, empires fall. It's much harder when it's all your call. All alone across the sea. Or up in hell, I guess he's dead. When your people say they hate you, don't come crawling back to me. Da 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 da. You're on your own. Anyway, I guess we'll go with the diplomacy. The court painter. Action will be performed the next day. Awaiting results. Intrigues are carried out in a matter of days. The results of some action blocks may only be seen the next day. God, this hourglass is triggering the fuck out of me right now. I was delivering a package this morning, and I was using this old crappy scanner that we had, and the thing fucking rebooted on me, and like in the people who I was delivering the parcel to, the woman answered the door. And so it's just this awkward 10 minutes waiting for my scanner to fucking reset. And that basically was my first break of the day because, you know, it just ate it up with just sitting in one spot for 10 minutes waiting for this goddamn thing to get fixed. I swear, those scanners kill as much time as they save sometimes. The painting probably represents the chaos that happened in the revolution, it being the end times with the trumpet being played by an angel. Yeah. You see, that's what I'm saying. I wish there was a more clear view of it. Alright, chance of success will be 100%. Nice. Okay, well, I think we're done here. Yeah, I hit accept. That it? Are we done? How do I get out of this? Documents discovered by Capes, intelligent wife holds the name stronger. Okay, so I think we're set. Let's go. CHG first law, hourglasses are outlawed. Which is funny because I pulled out today one of my actual well, I've only got the one right now, but I have this interesting, it's a very tiny little, like a magnet hourglass thing. It comes on a metal stand and there's metal shavings in it, so as it goes through, it like makes this spiky thing. It just cost me a couple bucks online when I once needed an hourglass while playing with friends. I need to get a chess clock, actually. Alright, so we're going to end the day, and we're going to end the stream, because I also did, like a 2.5 hour stream earlier, and I ended up starting this later than I wanted, and I got other stuff to do. It's busy. I'm basically going to be busy nonstop from here to August, and then depending how it goes, it might ramp up until October, and then it might ramp up even more into December. Rest of the year is going to be busy, is what I'm saying. Alright, that's it. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, everything going up. Common folk, revolutionaries, influence point, reputation, good relationship with wife, good relationship with my youngest son. It's all good. Yeah, mailman struggles. Yeah, the days just blur together for me right now. Because not just my job, but this and other stuff I gotta do. Like I gotta get working on some things for the other channel. Anyway, I'm Conquering History Games. Thank you very much for joining me. I will see you all tomorrow, I think. Yeah, nothing should stop me from doing something tomorrow. You have yourselves a very pleasant evening. And, yeah, oops, shit. Yeah, we're in the, oh, fuck. I didn't even mean to open this. Oh, nice! It's updated, though. Oh, it's really updated. Oh, Marat's there? Okay, we'll look at that next time. Somebody remind me to do that. Look at the hierarchy next time. Good night.